Hey, it's MK, and I am here with another 31 days of cut files for you guys. And today I am using one of the outdoor cut files that says outside. I really like this outside cut file because it changes one of the letters with an icon, and that's been one of my favorite things to do lately. I'm also going to be working on this pocket page of a horseback ride that we went on at June Lake, and so I've got both sides to be working with. So I've pulled out a few things from my stash. I have a little bit, I have some clips that I'm not really sure if they're going to work because I don't know if they match this, I think it's called Weathered Garden by Simple Stories. So the yellows are just a little off. So I'm not really sure if they'll be able to work with me or not. So I don't know, but I pulled them in just in case I wanted to use them. I'm also going to be using these two wood grain pieces from Cartabella that are by the sea, and I think it's Seaside Wood Grain or something like that. I'm not really sure what the name of it is, but I did buy several of these papers to play with because I really do like the color beech wood grain. That was close. But I do really like the color of these wood grains. They work for so many things. I have this chipboard piece that is from a Minte Woodland collection. And then from close to my heart, I have these, they are like really thick cardstock cutouts or punch outs. And so, yeah, they came in the National Scrapbook Kit that they offered last year. And then for my inspiration piece, I pulled out this Minte Woodland piece. It's not, I was just sharing with you guys that they're both from the same collection, but I'm going to try to match these colors right here on this piece of paper. I'm not necessarily going to use the paper. It is just my inspiration. I also have, from Some Assemblage Required, this cute little horse set, the Heart Horse set. This one here is called Country Florals, that has all of the different wood grains that I offer in my shop. I've got some horse shoes, and then this cool little round floral wreath. So I'm going to see if I can't incorporate a couple of these things. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut up all of my wood grain. With wood grain, you have to decide which way you want your panels to go, whether you want the wood grain to go up and down or left and right. For this one, I wanted it to go up and down because I knew that it would be seen a lot better than if I had them go left and right. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly cut all of my pieces, and then I'm only going to show you guys how I put together one piece because it is very time consuming. But I wanted to share with you guys that I always glue everything together in a pocket. So I glue the front to the back, or I try to pick a pattern paper that I can use both sides on. So that way I don't have to worry about this step right here. But when I glue my papers front to back, I check to see if I have a good alignment, and then I trim it off long before I add my photos. So that way, when I add my photos, I don't have to miscalculate for having to trim off one of the edges, and then one of the edges is a little shorter than the other. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and work on my 4x12 panel. Now, I don't remember where I got this specific page protector. In all honesty, I apologize. So anyways, I don't know where I got this page protector. It could have been from from Stampin' Up. It could have been from Doodlebug. It could have been from scrapbook.com. I have no idea. So for my cut file, like I said, I really wanted to use that paper for inspiration, but then I realized that it also might not be the right green that matches the sticker sheet that I wanted to use as well. So I decided to bring in the sticker sheet to choose my colors, but I'm doing an ombre effect from green to brown on my cut file. So that way I kind of have like, the brown dirt and then the green on the front side. My first color that I picked, which I believe was peeled paint, might be bundled sage. It looks like bundled sage. It ends up being a little bit on the lighter side. So I think I do end up going a little darker on this one. So we will see. But my intention was to make it look like that piece of paper. And in all honesty, once I got done blending the two pieces, top and bottom, I really liked that instead of what I was originally going to do, which was to ink the whole piece in green and then swipe my brown ink pad across it. That was my original thought until I decided that I really liked the ombre look. And it looks like I'm sticking with bundled sage. I'm just going to go a little darker on it. And then once I get all of my pieces done, I am good to go to finish this side. So I'm going to have outside moments. I think it's funny that it only takes one sticker to draw you to the rest of the stickers. And so moments was the sticker that that suggested I pick the rest of my, not ingredients, but supplies, was all the sticker sheet. I also have these leftover, they're like sticker leaf images that are from the November Advent calendar. So I'm just going to cut that one in half and just build up a little bit of greenery. I'm going to use this wreath as a frame, but I have to peel it first. And it is this beautiful dark gray wood grain. Absolutely gorgeous once you peel the masking off. Then I'm going to add my little horsey in there somewhere. I don't plan on coloring my horse. I kind of like him, the blonde wood. And then I'm just looking for something else to fill in the little gap. Now, what I did off camera was I took my sticker sheet and cut it apart so that way I could play with all the pieces instead of trying to look at it as a whole. I find this very helpful for my sticker sheets just because of the fact that now I've got all of these loose elements and I'm able to organize them and separate them by a likeness. And I seem to use up my sticker sheets a lot faster this way rather than trying to scan over them briefly and hope that I didn't miss anything. So just cutting apart a few more things, but in all honesty, I think this is about where I want my panel to look like. Adding in maybe another leaf. There we go. Just a little one. And then, of course, I'm going to glue it down for you guys so that way you guys can see it all put together as well, especially when I have multiple layers on top. And I also add a few other of those close to my heart punch-out cardstock pieces. I think close to my heart calls them die cuts. I can't really remember, to be honest. I'm sorry, you guys. These voiceovers are terrible, but I'm also trying not to cough in the microphone. So I do apologize if they're not my most energetic videos. So all of my wood veneer has adhesive on the back. My horse, I took the adhesive or the masking off before I added him to my cluster. And I forgot that I haven't put my wreath down yet. And I think never mind. So there's my little wreath. This is just an insert that's going to go in between a 2-page layout that I have already created for our horseback ride. I created quite a few because this was something that I don't really foresee us doing again as a family because our kids they're growing up faster than we can plan vacations. And to be honest, I'm not sure if some of them enjoyed it. I hate to say that. But yes, a couple of them really liked it and a couple of them thought it was pretty boring. I think the reason why they thought it was boring is because it was basically a nature trail instead of walking it, we were on a horse. That was the only difference. And a couple of the boys were like, "Nah, there was nothing to write home about on that one." But it was super fun and super long. It was definitely worth going. I just, it wasn't just a couple times around the arena and you're good to go. You actually got to go a couple miles on horseback, and it was a couple hours. So well worth it, I thought. The stables were great. The horses were great. And by the end, I think my kids were all very comfortable on the horses, just because of how well versed the horses were in what they were supposed to do. So I went ahead and gave my my other close to my heart die cut, which is this border, a little bit of facelift. I had to go into a darker, I think that was forest moss, a darker green. And then, of course, when I added the darker green, the natural color of the die cut looked a little weird. So I went ahead and added, I want to say, I think it's, what is that called? Frayed burlap, rather than the walnut stain that I usually use. But I can't really be sure about that, you guys. So for this one over here, on the opposite side of where my wreath is, I'm going to add this horse, this little horse heart, and then I'm just going to try to find a saying or something. A day to remember is a good one. I'm just trying to say, find the right saying. And at this point, I actually kind of forgot about the tremendous and the chipboard sayings up at the top. I even though they're sitting right there, I still overlook them because I had so many choices to choose from with my sticker sheet. So basically all it took was the sticker sheet, a couple leaves, and wood grain pieces to help me decorate. So, and I'm going to leave the majority of this panel open for my journaling. I don't really necessarily think that both sides needed a title. I didn't even think that this one needed a title, but I went ahead and put a title on it anyways because it just worked really well on that 4x12 panel. So, but here I'm going to put my journaling on here because I know my 2-page layout did not have any room for journaling. So it'll go on this 4x12 panel. Again, you guys, thank you so much for putting up with these uber boring voiceovers. I am not my energetic self because I don't want to suck in a whole bunch of air and then go into a coughing fit. So I'm trying to keep it low key. But with it being low key, I just feel like I don't know what to say. All right, so here is a close-up of both sides of my panelings. I really do love this. And like I said, they're glued back to back. So that way when I put them in the pocket page, they don't shift from each other. So the next thing I'm going to work on is the middle, the centers of my 4 photos. I've noticed a dead space on both sides. So I thought a cute little cluster would be absolutely perfect. So I'm going to take all of the masking off of my country florals, and I love this country floral set because of all the different colored wood grains that are in the set once you peel off all the masking. So I absolutely love that. And then I peeled off the masking of my horseshoes too in case I wanted to include the horseshoes in any of these clusters. So I'm going to go ahead and reach for those leaves that I have again and mix the leaves with the wood grains. And I've split my leaves into sets of 3. So that way I've got 3 for one side and 3 for the other side. And then my acetate leaves are, they're more like clear stickers. And they're not as thick as acetate. So I'm just going to go ahead and peel those off so that way they stick to the outside of my page protector. And then the same thing with my wood veneer. I will peel the adhesive off of those as well, and they will stick outside my page protector, so that way I can cover up the four corners of my photos and have this cute little cluster, which again makes it look like it's a 12 by 12 layout. So I like having these unique pages within my 12 by 12s, just because of the fact that it draws a lot more attention. And really, my kids talk more about these types of pages than the 12 by 12s. The 12 by 12s, it's like they only are looking for themselves and read a couple little bits and pieces that I've wrote down and then move on. But once they get to the pocket pages, it's like a whole new thing, and I absolutely love it. All right, so I flipped it over and I am working on the back side now, just building up my cluster. And this one I decided to build my cluster as I go instead of do a trial run. And most of that is because I wanted to make sure that I not necessarily covered up the other side, but I wanted to make sure that bits and pieces of the other side were covered up, if that makes sense. So I'm just trying to decide which horseshoe, sorry, I forgot what that was, which horseshoe was best for me. Now, I did end up doing a smaller little cluster down in the bottom of one of the photos. And because I didn't zoom out, I didn't get those recorded. But here is a cute little cluster. It's just those little paint swatches or color palettes torn in half and then added a little heart. I did the exact same thing on the other side, just using up the dead space right there. So nothing much on that one. And I forgot that I'm going to put a little something here. So I'm going to add a little butterfly right on top. And I don't know if I add another horseshoe or not. Oh, I add a little heart. And there we go. That is my layout for today. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. Please be sure to check out all of the links that I have down below. One of the links is the Facebook group for the 31 days of cut files, where you can go and hang out with us. I have been trying to do a live every day that's called Bigger is Better. So that way I could see if using these cut files in a bigger format are a lot better than the size that we decided to use for the kit. So it's just a little experiment that I wanted to do because some of them I really liked in the smaller format. So anyways, also be sure to go check out Galaxy Girl Creations, who is Janet Fritz, here on YouTube, to go and see what she is using, how she is using her cut file for today. Again, thank you for putting up with my sickness that I am slowly getting over. And I will check you guys all later. Thanks. Bye.